Hail! Kevin here. As the flagship connoisseur I am, it's kind of odd that I would go ahead and buy the Galaxy Buds FE. Now, Samsung's Fan Edition lineup has always been something more of an entry point to their flagship products. In this case, the Fan Edition is the entry point of the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. So one of the biggest questions I've been wondering is, how do their Fan Edition products stack up to their flagship counterparts? And after buying the Galaxy Buds FE, the biggest difference I found was the box was white! Okay, no, that's not the actual differences, but I did pick these up as I had a little bit of a deal on them for $44, so I was like, I might as well just get them. For a little bit of context, the reason why I picked up the Galaxy Buds FE is because my Galaxy Buds 2 Pro look like they come from Wish.com. Okay, jokes aside, this is a legitimate pair of Buds 2 Pro, it's just the case is not. Unfortunately, I was crossing the road and I decided that I needed to cross the road a little bit faster, if you catch my drift. So I started running and I lost my case. So given the opportunity of getting the Buds FE for almost, well, it's like 25%, not off, but for 25% of the price, I was like, I might as well pick up the Buds 2. So given the chance of picking up the Galaxy Buds FE for $44, I mean, who wouldn't pass up the offer? So without further ado, let's unbox it. Okay, I've already used them obviously, but these here are the Buds FE, and compared to the legitimate case, it is a white glossy finish with the Samsung logo, and it has a little bit of a dual tone finish with, well, not really dual tone, just a bit of contrast with the black lining in the credit card ridge. Yes. The general design hasn't changed much ever since I believe the Galaxy Buds Live or the Beans, but generally the design aesthetic hasn't changed much since then. It's been pretty much the same case all around and, well, you know, if it works, it works. This certainly feels really similar to the AirPods Pro case, which I unfortunately don't have the case for as well, because if you can guess, I dropped my AirPods Pro case and lost the case. If you couldn't tell, there's a bit of a recurring theme here. So the main reason why I bought these is because they were cheap, and if I lost the case, I wouldn't care. But anyway, with the case design language, what about the Buds itself? Taking a look at the Buds itself, I'm quite reminded of the original Galaxy Buds, Buds Plus and Original. This design looks a lot better than the Galaxy Buds Pro, in my opinion at least. I don't mind the way these things look like eggs in my ears, it's just, from a functionality standpoint, having a flat surface to be able to like tap on rather than just fueling this round shell is preferable in my opinion. And if we look away from the touchpad and have a look at the side, we have a little bit of a wingtip to fit into your ear better. And obviously this is an in-ear design, so if you guys do not like things that stick into your ear, this may not be the one for you. So with my excitement of the original Galaxy Buds design language coming back, and also the better touchpad and all that jazz, and with the fact that I was absolutely happy that I spent $44 on something that would have cost me $200 and something instead, I was so excited to hear this sound quality. Now, I know you guys are really excited to know how I think they sound, but before we do that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We recently hit 100 subscribers and we're trying to get our way up to getting this channel monetized. As right now, every single tech purchase that I've made has been out of my wallet. So with all this excitement of old Buds and, oh wow, this new design and everything, the Fan Edition was making my inner fan absolutely going crazy. So, before I obviously tested these, I quickly grabbed the Buds 2 Pro, stuck them into my ears, and had a listen to my favorite song. There's a couple things that many of you Buds 2 Pro owners would be aware of. The fit, and then the sound. For me, the Buds 2 Pro don't really fit into my ears properly. Well, they do, but they feel like I'm constantly getting pressure being blown into my ears. I know they have some sort of air channel to relieve this pressure, but it just doesn't work for me. Whereas compared to the Apple AirPods, I honestly forget they're in my ears. I don't know if that's a good thing, but it is what it is. And with that, compared to the Buds FE, these actually feel a lot more comfortable. When I put these into my ears, the fit immediately felt a lot better. These things just do not absolutely violate your ear canals, whereas this thing just feels like it's trying to probe you to send your earwax to the aliens. But yeah, between these two, the Buds FE felt infinitely better. Now with the fit and finish out of the way, the sound quality was the thing that I was most excited about. So I strapped in my favorite song and started playing it on the Buds 2 Pro, and immediately I recognized the sound signature. These things don't sound fantastic. It's not like they are bad, it's just the tuning out the box without EQ is absolutely terrible. For any of you audiophile nerds out there, you would know that these buds are quite exciting and very sibilant. The problem with the Buds 2 Pro's tuning is around the 4 to 8 kilohertz region where most of the harsh sounds are, it's boosted by a lot. So when you listen to music on the Buds 2 Pro, all the sounds and like not necessarily hi-hats, but the more harsher sounds, they're very pronounced. And with that, most things sound kind of crunchy. Yes, it can sound more high fidelity because it sounds more crisp, but I think they've overdone it. Luckily though, they did recently release an update for the Buds 2 Pro, and I saw on the subreddit for the Buds that everyone was complaining or praising that they had fixed this issue. A lot of people were saying, oh, it doesn't sound as sharp as it used to. And on the contrary, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, they fixed the sibilant issue. But yeah, in general, it is still a little bit sibilant. It's a little bit more exciting by sound, and I don't prefer that. Now, if we move on to the Buds FE, what is the tuning like? Well, when I first played my song, I was like, oh wow, this is actually quite tasteful. It's not too exciting, it's actually quite flat, but a little bit bassy. It's not so muddy like Sony's, it's more so... I don't know how to explain it. It's... But regardless, the tuning on these were much more tasteful than these. However, while I was testing these buds, I quickly realized there was something a little bit off. I had no idea what it was, but I was like, man, these sound really, really bad. I had to double check my settings on my phone. I was like, okay, maybe Spotify's audio codec is just garbage, because as you know, they don't offer any lossless audio, and besides, like, these are wireless earbuds, but it couldn't have been that bad. I've heard AAC over like Apple's AirPods and they sound excellent. So I was like, okay, maybe something's wrong with my phone. Because while I was testing these buds, I actually picked up the Nothing Phone 2A, and I thought, oh, maybe it's because these don't support Samsung's seamless codec or whatever it's called. It may have been an issue. So I quickly grabbed my Galaxy S24 Ultra and tested out the Buds FE, and they still sounded the same. So what was going on? The sound sounded pretty low res. So I thought, okay, maybe it's because the tuning? Maybe the tuning's not good? And I was like, but it sounded great when I first played it, so I wasn't really sure. So I went into my EQ and dropped the 500 Hz region, and I found that, oh, that did improve things. So with my observation of the tuning being better, I was like, okay, maybe the tuning wasn't better and this is the problem. It was a tuning issue. Again, Samsung. Now, I would normally end the video and say, oh, the Buds FE are, yeah, they're worth it because they're only $200, and the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro are $400 or $500, so it makes sense for the other ones to sound bad. Except, for the people who have been paying very close attention, you've probably realized when I was testing the Bud 2 Pro, I said, this sound that I'm used to. Why would I say that in past tense? Well, introducing the Moondrop Space Travels. Yeah, they look pretty beat up, but it does mean I use them. So what on earth is this, you may be asking? What on earth? It doesn't look like an earbud. Well, these things are made by a company called Moondrop, and they're more so known for their Chi-Fi, and if you don't know what that is, it's just basically hi-fi, but
Chinese and usually
on a budget. Now, what on earth does that mean for the general consumer, you guys? Well, it means that Moondrop is price conscious, but they also deliver in sound quality. Now, these things are good. Now, when I say good, I mean the
imaging
on this thing, which if you don't know what that means, it means the imaging, or where you can hear the places of of instruments, like if someone's playing the drums on that side and someone's playing the guitar on that side, and if someone's about to jump you from behind and look behind you, you get the gist. The sound, or the dimensionality, the spatiality of the sound, and not spatial audio, but the actual spatiality of the sound. So these have much better sound staging, and they also sound a lot better than the Buds 2 Pro could ever sound. And you're probably wondering, okay, well, if they sound significantly better, well, they must be $500. Well, that's where I say they're not. These things are $36. Yes, these things, $36. Now, this isn't something that I can, let you listen to and hear the difference, especially sound staging. This is just something you kind of have to experience. You can take my word for it or just completely ignore my words, but when I used these, it completely changed my outlook on wireless earbuds. The Moondrop Space Travels sound significantly better than the Buds 2 Pro for a fraction of the cost. Now, you might be wondering, why are you comparing it to the Buds 2 Pro, not the Buds FE? Well, the simple answer is they're incomparable. You just cannot compare them. When I grab these and compare it to these, I don't even believe I would pay $44 for these. Now, obviously, the differences don't end there. Otherwise, this video would be a minute long and I would tell you to go buy the Moondrops and don't buy the FE. The biggest difference that you're going to find is when you're playing audio, especially a video, you're going to notice that things get desynced. This is because the Moondrop's low latency mode only exists for gaming. Now, on other buds, what the buds would do is it would tell the device, you need to delay the video for a certain X amount of seconds, and then the video and audio would be synced. Now, if you tap on the Space Travels 4 times on the side, you enter the game mode. And this is where the latency is absolutely fixed. Now, you can watch your videos without things getting desynced, and it's a good selling experience from there. Yes, I could tell there was slightly more compression with the audio. The audio wasn't as crispy and high fidelity for what AAC can do, but it did degrade the audio experience a little bit. Now, with the audio experience, it also introduced some random disconnects. This isn't really like, it completely disconnected. It would be one earbud would stop playing audio, but then it would reconnect. I noticed that this happened more so on Snapdragon chipsets than Tensor or Dimensity, which is a little bit weird, but it is a problem that I observed and it exists, at least from my usage. And with Samsung, you have an automatic game mode that kind of kicks in when you're playing games, so it already reduces the latency regardless, and it also automatically syncs your audio to your video, so you get that as well. On top of that, if you're in the Samsung ecosystem, you can transfer between devices. So if you were to pretend this was a S23 FE, and actually the S23 FE has a massive bezel. Let me fix that real quick. Alright, much better. Okay, as I was saying, if you have like an S23 FE and for God knows what reason also have an S24 Ultra, you can seamlessly switch between the devices and the buds would auto switch. Now, with all those things out of the way, it's not all sunshine and rainbows for the $36 buds. However, I would only compare these two from this regard if this thing was $44, which it's not. Because I paid $44 for this, I wasn't that disappointed. But if we pull up the retail price, which I actually have no idea what it is, I know it's around $200. Let me just real quick Google this. Buds FE. Alright, so they are $200. So with the fact that the Buds FE are $200 and the Moondrop Space Travels are only $36, I'd honestly say that these are still better value. Even though these do have compromises, the fact that this thing costs $200 and the fact that this thing costs $36 and wireless earbuds have a shelf life, as you know, the batteries degrade, this is honestly a much better package for what you're getting. You're getting not only better sound quality, but you're getting better sound staging, which you just cannot get by EQing. It's something that has to be considered with the design of the diaphragm and everything about the bud, but you're also getting the fact that you have $164 in your pocket still. Now, if you have a deal where you can get this for $44, go ahead, get this. You'd get a better, in the end, experience-wise, as long as you're on a Samsung ecosystem, because of all the ecosystem offerings. But if you don't care about Samsung's feature set or anything to do with Samsung, then this is just a much better option. This isn't a situation where you're paying less and getting a lot less. In fact, you're getting more, but less in a different way. Think about it like this. It's like buying a reliable car that isn't exciting. It's just like a Toyota Corolla. You can buy a Toyota Corolla for like 20 grand, or you could alternatively buy a sports car that's kind of beat up, but you get excitement out of it, but it's not quite as reliable, for also 20 grand. This here is the exotic sports car, and this here is the old and reliable. But obviously this is with the context of these things being the same price, which they're not. So with that, I think earbuds are in an interesting situation. These things don't only just sound better than the Buds 2 Pro, they sound better than the AirPods Pro, but I mean, those don't sound that good in my opinion, at least to begin with. But with the fact that these are so cheap and everything else being so expensive, I think there needs to be a bit of a wake-up call for consumers and also companies that their margins for these products are way too high. We need to be vocal about this, and we need to show support where the companies need it. Moondrop, I want to see Moondrop releasing their IMs to the mass market, not just in niche markets where people know about Moondrop. I wouldn't have known about this product if I don't follow their other Chi-Fi products. But yeah, in other words, if you are looking for earbuds and you are considering the FE, maybe don't get them and try these instead. And besides, if you don't like these and you bought it from Amazon, their return policy is pretty good. So just return them. And besides, you could just give them to someone else if you turn out to not like them. But I assure you, if you compare these two in terms of sound quality, you're gonna pick this one. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And for the people who are subscribed, I am very sorry that the Ultra Mini video is delayed. I assure you it will be coming out around the end of this month, and with the end of the month, we will be returning to a weekly upload schedule. Hopefully. But anyways, thank you so much for staying to the end, and thank you so much for you guys' support. It means so much for a new content creator, and I'll see you guys in the next video.